and we are here for what is set to be a very interesting day of rugby league, of obviously the start of the NRL season and of course the rugby league event in Vegas, but we've got a bit of a tasty matchup to start off the day's action as we have the Warrington Wolves taking on the Wakefield Trinity in a pretty interesting match. Warrington had the week off last week as they were scheduled to play Hull Kingston Rovers, but they were busy becoming the best team in the world, whilst Wakefield Trinity coming off an 18-16 win against the Huddersfield Giants, were looking to make it 2 on the trot. So hello everybody, welcome to this matchup and stream. This is going to be rather interesting to see how this one ends up. It's been a little bit since we've done essentially a Super League match or just a stream in general, but it's an interesting time. This lot play later, but obviously this is the main focus. We've got about less than 15 minutes away from the start of this game. So we have one vote currently in the poll, and it is saying that it is believed that the Wire will get 2 from 2 from this season, of course, only playing one match, which was their win over St. Helens. So I guess we just need to find out who's playing. So without further ado, we will go through the lineups quickly, starting off with the Warrington Wolves. You've got Kai Taylor-Ray at fullback with Josh Doulis and Josh Smith on the wings, with Toby King and Albert Hopewate in the centres, George Williams and Mark Snyde as the playmakers, Luke Yates, Danny Walker and Liam Byrne as the hooker prop, Sam Stone and James Harrison in the second row, with Ben Curry at lock. Tofa Sipley, Geordie Cortha, Joe Philbin and Kalepi Tanjanawa are the interchange with Ewan Smith, the number 32, the 18th man. And now as we go into the Wakefield Trinity side, you've got Max Jowett on fullback with Oliver Pratt and Jaden Myers on the wings, Cameron Scott and Corey Hall in the centres, Jake Truman and Jack Sinfield as the playmakers, Mike McMeekin, Tyson Smithy and Caleb Hamlin-Awele as the hooker prop roles, Seth Nicotimo, Isaiah Vagana as the second row with Jazz Tavaga at lock, Matty Staunton, Jay Pitts, Caius Fartilli and Harvey Smith as the interchange with Kai Rodwell, the number 10, as the 18th man. Just highlighting him. Please be pronounced Vagana because, yeah, if it's a soft G, we're in trouble. But anyways, those are the team lists here. Obviously, no Mason Lino for Wakefield, which makes it a pretty good start because I'm pretty certain it's the first of players using thumbnails that straight up just will not be in the team, which is that's unfortunate. But they had 2 votes currently in. We've got 2 votes for Warrington to take this match. Yeah, and this will be interesting to see. I mean, one thing I'm gonna try to do this game is to cut down on the Taylor-Ray glazing because I did it a bit in the game against St. Helens. I thought, I mean, he was just had an absolute brilliant affair. He just was exciting to see, and it's I think I made a claim saying, he's like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a smoky for the England squad for the World Cup. So we're gonna keep it under wraps unless he does a decent performance again, because then the Taylor train's just going to keep on rolling. So hopefully we just try to keep that under wraps and just keeping it at normalcy, which is what we will try to do nonetheless. But yeah, so interesting time. I mean, you've got obviously the Vegas matches, and the first one obviously being Hull Kingston Rovers and Leeds Rhinos. Won't be able to do that. The only game from the Vegas games I'll be able to do is the Canterbury Bulldogs and St. George Illawarra Dragons, the final game. But I will be around very early morning, but I will be able to do the what is essentially a 2 a.m. kickoff for the streams tomorrow morning. So that's going to be interesting as we close out the third round of the Super League competition. And I'm just going to have, I believe it's the first time it's the first time we're doing the Bulls as the home team at their stadium as they're playing Toulouse Olympics. So that should be quite an interesting game because Toulouse Olympique, they're 2 for 2 this season. So yeah, it would be very exciting to see. So does anybody have any specific predictions? Let me know in the chat below because we've got about 10 minutes to go. And also, just a little bearing in mind, unfortunately, there'll be no game footage shown throughout this because of copyright, unfortunately. But I did actually have a bet come in from Liverpool and West Ham, a bit of a multi-legged parlay, if you will, or I'm trying to think, or like multi. I'm trying to think what the English equivalency would be for that, but just check for that it has gone through. Yep. So basically, what I had was I had Liverpool to win. I had both teams to score. This was the game between Liverpool and West Ham. I had Cody Gakpo to score an assist. Jared Bowen to score or assist. Bowen got an assist and Gakpo scored. Over 8.5 corners and over 2.5 cards. So turned $2.50 into $35. But it was with a bet with mates, which is where you can combine money with other people and, you know, make bets like so everyone gets like an even split. So you're welcome, Rowan and Bradley. So it's so yeah, we're only a couple of minutes left away. We should obviously transition out into this section of the stream, and I think we're just going to go through quickly who I think will win this game. It's going to be interesting to see how this does go. Might be a close game, I'm kind of hoping, because there has been a bit of a disparity. There's been some games that have been really close, but then there's been other games which have just been absolute blowouts, like that Wigan game, for example. It was like, what was it, 54-0 as the final score. I'm going to go with Warrington to win, but this is not a confident prediction. Just from me, because I feel this might be a close game, but who knows? Who the hell knows? And what do I know anyway? What do I know? I know nothing. I really do know nothing, as we've got about 7 minutes away from starting the matchup. Still got the solitary 2 votes. It's a very interesting kickoff time because we're getting there is another match obviously going to be happening sort of simultaneously, so we'll be keeping an eye on that, which is of course St Helens and the Catalan Dragons. When it came down to like choosing which match of this is, I'll do this one because more so I haven't done Wakefield yet this season, whilst I have done a St Helens game and a Catalan game, so at least they've featured on the channel so far this season. And obviously Warrington has done it before, but we haven't seen Wakefield yet, so we're going to see how they go. But we will be keeping just a little eye on the St Helens and Catalan game when that does come on. I believe it's about half an hour into this match, so we won't be able to check into all of it, but we will at least have like a rough sort of gauge of it. So all I pray for this match is that this is entertaining, because I think pretty certain the last stream we did was genuinely I'm pretty certain it was like York and Leeds, and that was another drubbing as well. So hopefully it isn't as bad, but you just don't know. So yeah, we're just at this phase. How is everybody all doing? So votes in, still 2 votes in favour of Warrington to take this match out. It's going to be rather interesting to see how it all goes down. I'm now repeating myself, as I should be able to get the stream up now for the start of this game. And yep, there we go, and we're now sort of ready to go for what is going to be an exciting game of Super League action as we're coming into the latter stages of the third round. But again, once at 30-minute mark, we'll start keeping an eye on another match, which is of course the Catalan Dragons and the St Helens over in France. But yeah, this should be a pretty interesting match, so we'll just keep an eye ready to go. We'll just go through the team list quickly without the banners. But for Warrington, Kai Taylor-Ray at fullback with Josh Thulis and Josh Smith on the wings. Toby King and Albert Hopewade in the centres. George Williams and Mark Snide as the playmakers. Luke Yates and Liam Byrne as the props with Danny Walker as the hooker. Sam Stone and James Harrison as the second row with Ben Curry at lock. Tougher for Sipley, Geordie Crowther, Joe Philbin and Kelleby Tanjanawa are the interchange with Ewan Smith as the 18th man. And for Wakefield, Max Jowett as the fullback, Oliver Pratt and Jaden Miles in the wings with Cameron Scott and Corey Hall in the centres. Jake Truman and Jack Sinfield as the playmakers. Mike McMeekin and Caleb Hamlin-Awele as the props with Tyson Smoothie as the hooker. Seth Nicotimo and Isaiah Vagana as the second row with Jazz Tavaga as lock. Matty Staunton, Jay Pitts, Caius Fartilli and Harvey Smith as the interchange with Kai Rodwell named as the 18th man. So yeah, essentially Warrington could climb as high as second on the live ladder, obviously depending on other results, because they would only need to win by 4 to overtake Toulouse Olympique, who have been in 2 very close matches to kick off their season. So, yeah, this is going to be exciting to go. Last votes really coming in if you want to get them out and about. We are still all aiming for the wire to take the win here. And it's all, to be fair, completely understandable to say the very least. Like, Warrington very impressive against St Helens, so you'd think they should be able to do a somewhat double. So here we... So yeah, we're just now waiting and trying to get this all going, and both waiting for both teams to come out, and we'll be underway and ready for this game. And we can start doing the stream. Yeah, Warrington only needing 4-point win to go up to second. I'm just probably need to have a check as Wakefield. I think Wakefield may need a bit of a decent win. So yeah, I guess we just have to wait out and see. This is exciting. Some hype. Get some hype going in the chat, but yeah, both teams now, we're just waiting for them to come out onto the field. Okay, just waiting now. The music's starting to pump. It's either might be the Diddy one. It might be Led Zeppelin. It's the song from the Godzilla movie. if anyone knows that one. But nonetheless, we are getting close. The coaches now in their spots as we're getting a camera shot of the away bay, consisting of the Wakefield Trinity fans. Yeah, hoping for a decent scoring, somewhat close matchup for this one. And here we go. Both teams are out on the field and underway as Man City and Leeds just kicked off. Also, everybody that has Haaland in their fantasy, yeah, he's not playing. It's bit of a rude awakening for me, but I don't have him as captain like everyone else in my league. So both teams now out on the field as we're getting ready. Yeah, but there's obviously a couple of players in the NRL here, so this will be exciting to see how there's obviously Caleb Hamlin-Awele, the brother of Braden Hamlin-Awele, who plays as a forward for the Cronulla Sharks. So just waiting for kickoff. It looks like it'll be Warrington who will kick off and give first possession over to Wakefield. So, yep, Wakefield will be getting first possession. Warrington running screen left. So, Warrington set to get first possession of the ball in what should be a rather interesting matchup, to say the very least. And there is kickoff, and we are underway between Warrington and Wakefield. Also, no game footage, unfortunately, as that is the first hit up there by Wakefield. And they get brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle straight. Inside, and it's a run into the centre. Big four-man tackle there by the Wolves, as still held into the 20 Wakefield in the centre of the field for the second tackle. They'll spread it out to the right-hand side, but they'll get driven back here, as that is McMeekin. Still around the 20, third tackle. Trying to get one-up plays up the guts, just trying to get some form of momentum. Fourth tackle now on their 30. Thinking about the kick from dummy half, but it doesn't happen. And wrapped up inside of the 40 now for the last tackle, Wakefield, as the Wakefield boys not looking good here. And they've called a penalty. I think it's Tyson Smoothie taking a while to get up there. So, yeah, it's a bit of a high shot there, and Smoothie did sell. That's what you do in the NRL. If the referee doesn't give the penalty initially, you just got to keep going. And I don't think there wasn't much in it, but Smoothie, it did hit Smoothie pretty decently, but it was a very good defensive start, and it's kind of gone bigging there for Warrington, as Wakefield now have a chance of getting another set, and quite possibly could threaten to get the first points of the board, which are crucial in this matchup. Also, I should end this poll, for thank you all for joining and voting, as Warrington won the poll. And just like that, it is Josh Thulis who's batted the ball back in play, so Warrington will get their first chance of the ball. It's more than a couple of times that has happened so far this season. But there we go. Wakefield now having to defend after giving up a penalty there. So Warrington now trying to knock into halfway, as that is the number 10 of James Harrison, who crosses past halfway on the far left-hand side for the third tackles. We are now a minute 40 into this matchup. So we're going to see how Warrington can get up the middle here. Run from dummy half here by Walker. And he'll get wrapped up 30 metres away from the try line here. Last tackle, they'll go to the short left-hand side. And it's a kick high up in the air. It'll be around the 20. A bit of pressure here for Wakefield. It's taken by Toby King. He's trying to find an offload. It doesn't, but the ball will pop forward. And it will be probably a 7-tackle set here for Wakefield. And, yep, that was the 0. So this will be the first tackle for Wakefield now inside their 20 on that far right-hand side. But, yeah, it wasn't the greatest of last tackle kicks, unfortunately, there for the Wolves. Now there's Corey Hall here, the number 4 for Wakefield. Wrapped up inside the 30 for the third tackle. And play. Good inside pass, as that's almost a breakthrough there. Right on halfway now. Fourth tackle for Wakefield. They'll spread it out to the left. And it's almost a breakthrough run here. There by Seth Nicotimo. Now 30 out now. Last tackle. Quick moving play by Wakefield. It's a kick up in the air. Pressure on Taylor Ray. But he takes it well under a lot of pressure and gets brought down inside the 10 for the first tackle for Warrington. We are now 3 minutes gone in this matchup. So you got to hope for a big defensive set here by Wakefield. And they're driving Warrington back here. So wrapping it up around the 20 here for the third tackle. Still centrally here. So this seems like a type of match where only a couple of incidents could happen, which could really... It's a snowball effect, essentially. Fourth tackle now for Warrington. They're just inside the 30. They'll go to the left-hand side. But they're not able to get anything done here, so this will be the last tackle. They've only got up to their 30s, so it's been a good defensive set here by Wakefield, and it's the kick by Warrington, taken inside the 30 by Wakefield as they fling it out to their left-hand side. The pass kind of teetering on possible forward, but it does look like it is all good. So here we go. Corey Hall runs up into the middle of the field and gets brought down just shy of halfway for the second tackle. Now 4 minutes gone in this context. Wakefield trying to spread it out to the right, but they will get into the Warrington half as Wakefield now 45 away from the try line. Third tackle. Nice fling passing there. Nicotimo brought down on Warrington's 40 for the fourth tackle. They'll spread it now into the middle as it's Jazz Tavaga. It will get held up right on Warrington's 30-metre line. So here we go. Now it's a six again, right on the last tackle. This is a huge chance here for Wakefield to get first points on the board. First tackle, 20 metres out. Oh, and he's cocked it up. Mike McMeekin tries to do a quick play of the ball, but just trips up and is able to, unfortunately, he tried to play it quickly and just bobbles the ball, and just like that, a full set of 6 goes begging on the first tackle as Warrington will get possession of the ball on their 20-metre line. But yeah, that was a good couple of minutes there, and Wakefield kind of a little bit on top. I mean, not much to really differentiate, but just seems like one of those ones where it sort of makes a sort of effect, but then had a chance to really capitalise and just couldn't get it done as the scrum was taken, as that is Toby King who gets wrapped up inside the Warrington 30 for the first tackle, and it's a penalty to the Wolves as Wakefield were not letting the tackle play. It's a deep kick into touch, and it's a brilliant kick, and it'll be taken 35 metres away from the try line. It's about a 30-40 metre kick for the penalty. So now we've got an immediately switch as Warrington now could be threatening the Wakefield line. 25 out, first tackle. They'll spread it. Now in the middle from the left, as that is Luke Yates, gets brought down on the 20 for the second tackle. Warrington now trying to find gaps down the left. Flat ball there to Sam Stone, and it's a penalty to Warrington. For what was? Oh, for a late hit there. So tackle without the ball. So 10 out. They're going to go for the try, and that's fairly respectable. And honestly, they really should be doing that type of thing. So inside the 10 now. First tackle for the Wolves as we're now just about 7 minutes gone in this match. Warrington now spreading it out to the right-hand side. Bit of an inside jockey pass there for Sam Stone. 5 out now, right near the posts for the second tackle. They'll fling it out to the left. Quick advancing run, and that's a kick. That should be a set restart. And Warrington now has the ball as George Williams ends up with it. But yeah, it's going to be should be a 7 tackle set or set restart. So here we go, inside the 10 again. Warrington still threatening. That was a 0 tackle. And it's a big charge by the big man. But he's going to get held up inside the zone and go back to the 10 for the first tackle. So yeah, good chance here for Warrington. They can capitalise. Warrington are on their far left-hand side as Snide spreads it now into Curry and gives the ball, gives it to Liam Byrne. 10 out now for the second tackle. Flat ball run there for Luke Yates. Brought down now, 5 out from the try line. Third tackle for Warrington. Trying to find some sort of gap. He's gone for an early kick to go for himself. Big chase, but it ends up being grounded by Wakefield. So it's going to result in a goal line dropout. Bit of an interesting decision there to just go for the kick straight up. But, I mean, if you see the spot, why not? He would have made the run, but it was good chase down there by the 2 Wakefield players to force a drop, to knock it out for a dropout. But still, it is good pressure here by Warrington. So there is a bit of a short kick here. So Warrington's under pressure. He takes the catch inside the 20 for the first tackle. So another attacking set here for the Wolves to see if they can get the first points of the match, as we're now 8.5 gone in this matchup. Spread it now to the left-hand side, as that's the number 13 of Ben Curry. 5 out from the line. Warrington now out to the left, trying to find numbers, but Wakefield are really committing off their line early as Taylor Ray gets wrapped up. 15 out for the third tackle. Short side again here for Warrington. Flat ball to the centre for Toby King, but he gets wrapped up. 5 out now. Fourth tackle. And it's a pass straight from dummy half to George Williams, and he's just going to get held up inside the 10. It's going to be a changeover, so Wakefield will survive the pressure, and they'll get the ball inside the 10. Wakefield need to force something here. They need to force a penalty, a line break, absolutely anything. They're trying to spread it out now to the left, but they're not getting many meters here. They're still inside of their 20 for the third tackle. And they're going to go up the middle. It's Jazz Tavaga. Gets brought down on the 20 for the fourth, as he's very much more central now in the field. They're going to go to the right-hand side now. And Wakefield will get past the 30, and that will be the last tackle. And there is the kick by Sinfield, and it's taken by Taylor Ray inside the 20. It'll get brought down just shy of halfway for the first tacklers. We're now 10 minutes gone. Been a bit, I feel like to say momentum is slightly in favour of Warrington, but we haven't really seen what much of these Wakefield attacks so far, so it's still decision pending. It's just waiting now for any type of attack here, as that is Alba Hobawade. Does take a bit of a high shot there as he enters Wakefield's half. Fourth tackle, 45 out, but obviously no penalty given. There's a lot of numbers advantages on the left-hand side here for Warrington. Can they break through? They cannot. This Josh Smith gets brought down 25 metres away from the try line on the far left-hand side. Here's the last tackle kick. There's going to be some pressure. Taken well. And it's going to be Wakefield's first tackle inside the 10 as Max Jowett with the catch. Oh, that's been given a penalty there. I don't think that was a high shot. It's sort of like he runs into the chest and cops the... Unless it was like a hidden shoulder there by Warrington. Let's have a look. No, there definitely is. Yeah, Ben Curry, a very decent high shot. I thought he ran straight into his chest, but yeah, never mind, as Oliver Pratt is getting looked at. But yeah, penalty there for Wakefield. Hopefully they can kick it into touch this time. You certainly got to hope so. So now we're just waiting to see. There we go, there's the penalty. And they've kicked it from their 10-metre line, and it hasn't gone far. In fact, it's only gone 15 metres, and they're still in just shy of what Wakefield's 30. That's not the greatest of kicks. Probably it seems like the wind must be just completely and utterly dead against them. So there we go now. Wakefield now trying to get inside of Warrington's half. They're past their 40 for the second tackle, as we're now 12 minutes gone in this matchup, as it's the number 8 of Mike McMeekin. Just shy of halfway, centre of the field for the third. They'll spread out to the right-hand side, as that's the number 18 of Isaiah Vagana. 35 away from the try line now. It's a good 20-metre run. It's Varga. Spreading it now to the left-hand side. They've got numbers if they want to. You need to pass that, you silly boy. So there we go, 20 metres out, or 30 metres out from the try line, sorry. Last tackle kick. Pressure on Taylor Ray. And he gets it, but he was up in the air still, and that will be a penalty to Warrington for tackling him in the air. It's a bit of an unfortunate one there, and I think with the wind very much behind the backs of Warrington, sorry. Oh, hang on, what's happening here? Oh, fucking massive blood bin there. Apologise for the swearing. Is Jade Myers. Is it Jade Myers or Nicotemo? It's Nicotemo who cops... I think... I'm going to see what happens here, but his entire right-hand side is covered in a lot of blood. So I guess we could try to see what happened here and what's caused the high shot here. So just about 13 minutes played here. Warrington got a penalty for Taylor Ray being tackled mid-air by Seth Nicotemo of Wakefield, who is now bleeding of a cut on the right side of his forehead. Don't exactly know what happened in that thing, because maybe just probably something that he got stitched earlier. So Nicotimo's back to the line. He seems all good. He's got the non-bleeding gel in his head. So there we go. Penalty for Warrington. We'll see how far this kick. He kicked it onto the 10. And the ball will be placed just shy of the 40-metre line for the first tackle. And that is Albert Hopewade. He gets just shy of halfway for the first tackle. And it's a set restart as well for a ruck infringement. As we've got Liam Byrne, who's gone past halfway. And will get brought down 45 away from the try line for the first tackle. There's Luke Yates now crosses past half before the Wakefield 40. And now they're spreading it out to the right as Taylor Ray. It's brought down on Wakefield's 30 now for the third tackle on the right-hand side. And spreading it out. There's a kick there. There's runners coming in on the left-hand side here. And it's been forced to be kicked out of touch by Max Jowett. I don't know if it's out on the full. Not out on the full. I mean, was it still in the field of players at a goal line dropout? Yep, he's grubbed it into touch inside the goal line. So it'll be a goal line dropout here. The second for Wakefield this match, as we're now 14 gone in this matchup. So Jowett ready to take the kick. He went for an earlier short dropout. He's going to go for another one. The first one was unsuccessful. And the second one is also unsuccessful. Taken by Thulis. 15 out. Full set of 6 now for Warrington to get the first points on the board. With Byrne trying to break the line. But he'll get brought down right on the 10-metre line. In the centre of the field for the second tackle. Warrington sends it out to the left-hand side. Tries to find a breaking line, but it's a penalty anyways. Probably offside. It's an obstruction, actually. Offside. Commentators are throwing me off with some of the calls there, but there we go. Yep, right. Yeah, the Wakefield players a little too quick off their mark. And Warrington are seriously considering going for the 2 here, and it looks like they're going to go for it. Very interesting decision here. What would you guys do? 10 metres out. You've just gotten a penalty. You've had a couple of sets trying to break through their line, but haven't gotten anything done yet. Do you just go for the easy points, or do you just try to keep going for the try? So here we go. We've got a penalty conversion attempt here for Warrington. It's in a very decent kick, so this should be pretty easy nonetheless to make this a 2-0 lead to the Wolves. It's Mark Sneed, or Snide, whatever it is. I should know. It's really unprofessional of me. Here's a conversion attempt, and it's successful. So after 15.5 minutes, the first points are on the board. It is Warrington 2, Wakefield 0 from a penalty kick. So yeah, pretty interesting decision there. I feel like, I don't know, I mean, the earlier you get points on the board could start a snowball effect. I don't know. I feel like you probably just... I would have personally gone for like another set. But then again, I don't play rugby league. So the highest level I ever played at was a gala day for my high school. And I was not great. Useless oath. As that's the catch inside the 10 for the first tackle. As it's given to Byrne. and he'll get wrapped up on that 10-metre line for the first tackle of this set for the Wolves. There's this number 4 there of Alba Hopewade for the second tackle inside the 20. As Yates there gets brought down on the 20 for the third. A lot of quick plays here. Almost a breakthrough line there. Warrington now inside their 40 for the fourth tackle. Definitely, they're trying to go for a set restart here. A lot of appeals for one here. Won't be given. So last tackle for Warrington on their 40. It's flung back. And it's a boot for the middle for Sneed. And it's taken by Jowett on the 20-metre line. And he'll get brought in just shy of the 30 for the first tackle for Wakefield. So could we really be the possibility in the midst of a low-scoring affair? I mean, Wakefield in their game last week, 18-16. It was a 2-point difference that separated them getting the win over Huddersfield with their robot thing. So Wakefield now just past halfway here for the fourth tackle. They'll try to spread it out to the left-hand side as Caleb Hamlin-Awele gets past Warrington's 40 for the last tackle, and it's a kick. Taylor Ray's going to come in under the 10, and he takes it, but he gets immediately wrapped up by Corey Hall for the first tackle for Warrington on the 10. Good defensive sets needed here by Wakefield to possibly get a decent field position, but they're doing well at the moment. Third tackle, they're still in the 20 here, Warrington. And that's Toby King. Will get brought down on the 30-metre line for the fourth tackle. And Taylor Ray breaks through the line again. He's got support on his right. He gives it off to George Williams. That's a brilliant wrap-up tackle by Jaden Myers. 5 metres out now. Last tackle for Warrington. They fling it out to the left, but it's a brilliant one-on-one tackle, and Cameron Scott makes the tackle, and it's a changeover. I know I talked about not glazing Taylor Ray, but just in a set that looked like nothing was happening, he spots a gap, blazes through, has 2 supports on his right, and he gives it off to George Williams, but a brilliant wrap-up tackle by Jaden Myers to stop the play, and then a brilliant one-on-one tackle by Cameron Scott to stop a possible last tackle try. Now Wakefield have the ball, and it's the second tackle on their 20-metre line as they're appealing for a penalty, and they'll get one. So, there you go. Taylor Ray, the shot in the arm this match needed. So it's a ruck infringement there, and it's a hopefully Wakefield can get a decent kick in here. If they get onto halfway, they could have a decent shot at possibly getting right on Warrington's line. So there's the kick into touch, and the ball will be placed right on Wakefield's 40 for the new set. So there we go. Right on halfway was the first tackle. Ooh. Need to be careful with that as Liam Byrne comes from behind in that tackle, almost bludgeoning at the back of the head. So need to be careful of that one. And Jazz Tavaga slips at halfway, and he'll get wrapped up right on halfway. So not much has happened this set here for Wakefield. And Byrne's coming in there again. They're trying to spin off him, Wakefield, but it's not really working, as Caleb Hamlin-Awele gets wrapped up on Warrington's 40 for the fourth tackle. Now Wakefield trying to spread it out to the right. It's not a bad run there by Wagner. It's Wagner as last tackle kick on the right-hand side. Bit of pressure on Taylor Ray. Takes it, and he gets brought down inside the 10 for the first tackle. So Wagner, it's definitely a lot better than the initial orders. Please don't tell me it's Vagina. Now Warrington trying to break out of their end of the field as they're inside the 20 for the second tackle. As we're now past 20 minutes in this first half, and only a penalty kick by Mark Sneed separating. But yeah, not a decent set here so far by Warrington, as they've only just gone past their 20 for the fourth tackle, but they're still inside their 30. Now for the fourth. Taylor Ray almost breaking through another tackle, He gets brought down just shy of the 40 for the last tackle kick. Potential attempt at a 40-20. It doesn't have enough bounce for it, so Jowett will pick it up inside the 20, and he'll get wrapped up just past it for the first tackle for Wakefield. It's hard to describe how good. I think it's just Taylor Ray's just got pure speed, but also enough strength in his legs to shake off a wraparound tackle, because he shaked off Jazz Tavaga in that chase for the lineup. As Wakefield now trying to get past the line here, just shy of halfway here for the fourth tackle, but that's an incorrect play of the ball, and it goes begging, as that is number 16 of Kaius for Artilli. So full set of 6 for Warrington now, just inside of Wakefield's half. So Kaius for Artilli, first involved. And they're kind of, so, oh my god. So he's got like, short off the sides here for Artilli. Then he's got a bit of muff around the back, and also like the Jedi post. But here's a great run here. Taylor Ray almost breaking through for the first tackle. 25 out for the first tackle. Can Warrington get the first try of the match and increase their lead? As Thulis runs along the line, but he'll get wrapped up and slammed to the ground 25 away from the try line for the second tackle. And that is Yates. Yates is being skillful, and he's brought down 15 away from the try line for the third tackle. So we're now 23 minutes gone in this matchup. Warrington now spreading it out to the right. Taylor Ray getting the pass off to Hopewade, but he'll get brought down 5 metres away from the line on the far right-hand side. Fourth tackle. Springs it now into the middle. Williams gives it to Sneed. The kick and chase, but taken easily there by Wakefield and brought down inside the 10 for the first tackle. And Wakefield now just kind of stuck in deep in their field, but they get the added of a penalty for offside. So I guess a decent chance to not be completely pinned back, because they were only still inside their 10 for the second tackle. And the kick will go into touch and be placed just in the 40. Still in Wakefield's half. And that's going to be there of Jay Pitts, the number 14. Still inside of their own half here, Wakefield. As there is Artilli. Gets brought down right on halfway for the second tackle. Spreading it out now to the right-hand side. Almost breaking through there as they've now entered Warrington's half. 40 away from the try line here. They'll still go middle. The play's down the line. It's a tackle there on Nicotimo. 35 out now. Fourth tackle. Nicotimo's now gotten the ball again. And you'll get wrapped up 25 away from the try line on the left-hand side. Last tackle here for Wakefield. It's bombed high up into the air. Taylor Ray's going to be going for it. And he takes it and gets brought down just in front of the 10-metre line for the first tackle for the Wolves. As we are now 25 minutes gone in this matchup. And now about a minute away from the start of the other match which is going on in this Super League season, which is the Catalan Dragons taking on the St. Helens. So run from the line here, Warrington, as there was Joe Philbin. He gets to the 40 for the fourth tackle, and Taylor Ray from dummy half, just shy of halfway here, but this will be the last tackle. Sneed with the kick, and it's going to be taken by Max Jowett on the 20, who flings it off to the wing, as it's the number 2 of Oliver Pratt, who gets brought down on Wakefield's 30 for the first tackle. Now Wakefield now just shy of the 40 for the second tackle. As they're doing one-upmans is Tavaga, just shy of halfway for the third tackle. Looking to the right-hand side here as a possible threat here, as that's number 18 of Wagner. 40 away from the try line now, fourth tackle. Tilly. Gets an offload off. Trying to go down the right-hand side here. There's Cameron Scott. Gets good post-contact meters. It gets brought down 15 away from the try line here. Set restart. No! And unfortunately, Max Joe, who has the ball, doesn't hear the set restart. And it's grubbered. And Warrington get back possession. It's another chance gone begging for Wakefield. And Wakefield now. Toby King gets brought down now on the 30 for the third tackle. But now a bunch of changes are starting to come on. So now here comes a big charging run here by Warrington. Is now 40 away from the try line now. Last tackle, Sam Stone. The last tackle kick there from Mark Sneed. Putting pressure on Pratt. Pratt takes it inside of the 20. And we'll get past the 20 and wrapped up inside the 30 for the first tackle for Wakefield. Now 27 minutes gone in this matchup. So just waiting now to see what does end up happening here as Wakefield now running up the guts. Corey Hall just shy of the 40 for the fourth tackle. Now spreading it out to the left as Wakefield now getting up to halfway for the fourth tackle. It's been a decent set so far. But yeah, Tofa now on for Warrington. It's going to be a threat for them. As Truman now brought down 40 metres away from the try line for the last tackle for Wakefield. And it's kicked by Sinfield. And it's going to be pressure on Smith. And Smith takes it inside the 20. And will get brought down for the first tackle for Warrington. So now we're just trying to get to see how fast they can go. So Thulis gets brought down to shy on the 30. As we've got a... as we're sensing is we're probably going to be in for a battle of attrition here. So been a very low scoring first half, of course. As Philbin gets brought down just shy of halfway for the fourth tackle. And now Warrington just trying to find the charge. It's tougher for Sipley. Gets past halfway for the last tackle for the Wolves. Flung back to Sneed. And it's going to be another kick targeting Pratt. And Pratt takes it inside the 10. And will run himself and he'll get past the 20 for the first tackle for Wakefield. But yeah, Wakefield... This match is definitely starting to get just running the sets here. No one's really been that threatening so far for the last couple of sets. As Wakefield now just shy of the 40 for the third tackle. Still inside their own half. And they're going to get held back here for the fourth tackle as we're about to enter the final 10 minutes of this first half. And... spreading out to the right-hand side. It's a 2-on-1 possibility. And it's grounded. And it's going to be a run here by Josh Thulis. Thulis is still going. The Wakefield players just were waiting for the whistle to go. But it doesn't happen. But now they're saying it's a knock-on by Thulis. But they're going to say it's a double knock-on. Possible challenge here by Wakefield. As there was a 2-on-1 pass out to the wing. But Wakefield... could he get it done? Is it a knock-on? I don't know if it hits his hand, but Thulis makes the pressure to force a mistake and then gets a big run. But it is a double knock-on. But Wakefield knock it on first, so Warrington will get the ball. So we're just waiting now to see... where the scrum will take place. It's been a bit of a stoppage here. But yeah, no. Oh, timer's off. So the scrum... Okay, so they said it was a double knock-on because it was an attempted strip by Wakefield. But Thulis is on the wing here. So 20 metres out, a full set of 6 here for Warrington. And Taylor Ray trying to break the line, but he slips up and he'll get brought down on the 10-metre line for the first tackle. Sorry for a little bit of confusion there, but it just didn't know what was happening. But here we go, Warrington. Just trying to find a way to break the line. 5 metres out, second tackle. They're spreading it out to the left, but the passes are going a little too quickly, and it's forced Smith to pick the ball back past the 20 to get brought down 10 out for the third tackle. Williams now running across the line, trying to find support. The pass has gone backwards. Then it's kicked over in the air by Wakefield. And Wakefield get the ball, and it's still Wakefield's ball. That's not a knock-on, surely. But it's going to be counted as it. I'd challenge this, actually, because I don't think he lost it. But a brilliant kick there by Corey Hall, which almost got the ball from around the 40 for the first tackle. But unfortunately, there was a knock-on from the offload. That's very unfortunate there. Yeah, he might have bobbled it. But man, that would have been rather impressive, to say the very least. That would have been brilliant to see. So now, 8 minutes remaining in this first half. 35 metres out, full set from the scrum. As Williams gets brought down, 30 away from the try line now for the first tackle. Can we finally see a try in this matchup? It's Toffa for Sipley. Gets a big carry and will get brought down on the 20-metre line for the second tackle. We'll go to the right now, Sneed. Gives it off to Taylor Ray. Taylor Ray to Hopawate. And Hopawate just inches away from the line here. Third tackle on the far right-hand side. They'll spread it more to the middle. As Philbin spins away from the line. It'll get wrapped up inside of the 10 for the fourth tackle. Here we go. Oh, Toffa Sipley trying to go at the line, but he'll get held up. And they're going to go back to the 10 for the last tackle. Toffa Sipley is claiming he scored, and the referee's reviewing it. To be honest, with all the available angles, I don't think he got the ball anywhere near the line, or near the grass. But if he has, Toffa Sipley off the bench, first try scorer. But the referee is having a look. I don't think Toffa Sipley gets the ball anywhere near the line, like the actual grass. I think he got held up. Distinctly held up. I don't think the problem is though the referee's taken it up as no try. Yeah, he's held up. It's like, oh, the ball does. Does the ball? Oh no, it does. It hits the ground there after a bit of a wrestle, so it does pop down, and that's going to be a try to Warrington. It is going to be a try. So Toffa Sipley did pop off and celebrate, and now it turns out he's completely and utterly justified for it. The ball pops down and hits the grass, so it should be a try. They're just having a look to see if there's possibly a knock-on, but yep, the referee is saying that he's confident there's no loss of possession by Toffa Sipley, and he's happy with the angles, so it looks like Toffa Sipley will be getting the first try of the matchup only 33 minutes into this game, and it will be 6-0 to Warrington with a kick to come right near the black dot. So here we go, we're just waiting for the official decision. And it'll be the first try for Warrington for Toffa Sipley. The light goes green, and Warrington gets the first try of the matchup, 6-0 with a kick to come. And I was questioning, it's like, bro, we're really confident with that, but he just knew the ball popped in. I did not see it from the available angle from the broadcast, but when we had a look at all of them, it certainly is a try, and it overturned a no-try decision. So there you go, Toffa Sipley, first try for Warrington. That's just brilliant, and good on him. Good on him for that. Because, yeah, nobody popped off. It just all of a sudden, Toffa Sibley's gone up and he's like, yeah, I did it. And he did. Yeah, he does force the ball down the line, down onto the grass. And the conversion is successful. So 6 minutes remaining in this first half. And it's 8-0 to Warrington. So, right, we're just going to have a quick check. So, 10 minutes currently gone between the Catalan Dragons and St Helens, and it's still 0-0. But there we go. Toffa Sibley does force the ball down to the ground, and he's chatting to the crowd. He's happy, and why not? As Jowett now getting ready for the kickoff to restart the game. And here we go. Wakefield wanting a good defensive step, but the first tackle inside the 20 for Warrington. As we've got 5.5 minutes remaining until half time. As Toby King gets wrapped up now inside the 20 for the second tackle. And now Toffa Sibley, the try scorer, gets up to the 30 for the third tackle. As Warrington go up as George Williams just shy of the 40 now for the fourth tackle. Short of halfway, my apologies. Sam Stone now 45 away from the try line. And it'll be the last tackle kick. And currently on the live ladder, it would have Warrington second. Okay, and there we go. We've got an update in the other game. 11 minutes gone. St Helens have gone over. It is now 4-0 to the Saints over the Catalan Dragons. As Wakefield now have possession of the ball and they get brought down just shy of the 20 for the second tackle. 4.5 now remaining. But if Wakefield can get any points on the board, this will be a pretty interesting half. But obviously they need to prevent another try by Warrington, because if that happens, could be a little bit of interesting dire situation. Decent wrap-up tackle there to keep Corey Hall back at bay. They're still at the 30 here at the moment. And they'll only get just as shy as their 40 here as Nicotimo gets wrapped up. And this will be the last tackle kick by Wakefield. And it's going to be taken by Thulis. And Warrington will get the first tackle inside the 40. We've now got 3.5 minutes remaining in this first half, obviously. So confirmation of... So, yep, conversion successful. 12 minutes gone. It's 6-0 to St Helens. And it's a break for the line here. And what I said could be happening here as Albert Hopewade runs straight through a gap and there's no one back to stop him. And he scores under the black dot. It's now 12-0 to Warrington with a kick to come. And the kick will be right in front anyways. But just as like I said, what Wakefield should not let happen does happen. Of letting him score another try going into the end of the first half. But there we go, 12-0 to Warrington as Albert Hopewade gets his second try of the season. So Danny Walker running from dummy half, spots a gap and sees a charging Albert Hopewade, flings it off to him and nobody just catches him because it was already committed by Jowett to make the tackle on Danny Walker. And Albert Hopewade just runs straight through and slides in under the black dot for now 12-0 with a kick to come. And the kick should be 14-0. If he misses, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, essentially. So after a pretty decent half, somewhat there by Wakefield, it's now resulted in Warrington getting a decent stranglehold so far to make it a 14-point gap. Just waiting now for the conversion to take place. As Sneed, this to make it 3 for 3 for the night. He takes it and kicks it through. So less than 2 minutes remaining in this first half. It's now 14-0 to Warrington. So now Warrington, surely they don't get another try here. I mean, if they do, that'd be really, really impressive. But I don't think it's possible. Unless I want to prove me wrong. There we go. 90 seconds remaining. So Warrington will be the final full set, with maybe Wakefield getting 1 or 2 tackles. But we're just waiting for the... There we go, the kick by Wakefield. It's going to be taken inside the 10. And they run it straight. And it'll be wrapped up on the 10-metre line for the first tackle. And rightio, Wakefield have forced a mistake. And it is a scrum feed 10 metres out. Could Wakefield possibly get a try leading into the break and possibly make it only an 8-point gap, which would be not that bad. Not that bad at all. So 10 metres out, right in front of the sticks. Wakefield with possession from the scrum. Time stopped, so they'll exactly have 1 minute. And so here we go. They set the scrum, and they're trying to go to the left-hand side as Corey Hall. It's brought down inside of the 10 for the first tackle. And it's a set restart as well here. If that mattered anything for the first tackle. As for Attili, 5 out from the line here. Can Wakefield get a try? They'll spread it out to the right-hand side. Trying to find some numbers. Cameron Scott gets wrapped up. 10 away from the try line here. Second tackle. It's another set restart. So there's only 20 seconds remaining. So there's only going to be 1 or 2 tackles, respectfully. Staunton now 5 metres away from the try line. 15 seconds remaining. What can Wakefield do? But it's just straight up penalty. And it's a sin bin. And after a couple of incidents there, Warrington have got a player sent to the bin. Rightio, so after a quick succession of set restarts, and I believe it is Toffa Sipley who's been sent to the bin. Right. So if Wakefield can somehow, they'll have 1 tackle, and it looks like Wakefield will be going for the 2. I mean, makes sense. They've only got 1 set, so this will make it probably going into the sheds 14 points to 2. But now, the first 10 minutes of the second half, Warrington will be down a player. Right, this is interesting. This is an interesting development. So here is the conversion attempt here, Jowett. This to make it 14 points to 2. Lining up. And he gets it here. So that's the end of the first half. 14 points to 2. And yes, Toffa Sipley sent to the bin right at the beginning there. So they're down by 2 tries, but we've got a pretty interesting opening 10 minutes of the second half to see what does happen. But Warrington still remain 14-2 ahead. As looking into the other games, 18 minutes gone. It is Catalan 0, St Helens 6. And it was St Helens. It was Rivenstead who scored the try. But we know St Helens was 6-0 up. Right, okay, so I think we've got a pretty interesting talking point, because obviously despite it being now a 2-score lead, a pretty decent chance here for Wakefield to possibly get more points as we're going into the second half. So I'm going to put up a question here for the halftime poll. So rightio, so I'm just putting up the question up. Okay. Okay, here we go. We've got the poll. We've got 3 options here. And the question is, with 10 minutes of a man advantage coming into the field for the second half, how many tries will Wakefield score with the man advantage? You've got 0, 1, or 2 plus, so basically 2 or more. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting sort of match. And we've immediately got to vote 2 plus, which will be very exciting to see, because then it would be almost immediately a cut, like right on level pegging. So it'll be very exciting to see if that does end up happening. But yeah, it was a bit of a running of the paces match, but Taylor Ray was able to get the job done with that with that line break. But obviously it didn't result in leading into a try, but it slowly started getting momentum going for Warrington, and then which eventually led to Toffa for simply being the only man on the field thinking, hang on, I've actually scored here, and plops the ball down the line, and he did. And then a decent run by Danny Walker, which from dummy half, which is on in the pass out to Albert Hopewada. He goes under the post, which made in pretty quick succession a 2-0 lead to a 14-0 lead. And obviously Wakefield getting the chance from the mistake in the play of the ball with about a minute to go, and they get the penalty and a couple of set restarts, and referee had enough and sent Toffa for Sipley to the bin. So yeah, I guess we're kind of hoping for a decent match here, but if Warrington can hold firm here and maybe even get a try, that could really get the wind out of the sails of Wakefield. So yeah, we just don't know. So we've got about a bit of a 10 or so minute period, so we're still trying to keep an eye on what's going on in the other match, of course being the Catalan Dragons and St Helens. So just waiting here. If anyone's got any votes or any specifics, they can let us know in the chat and see what you think about the first half, or just what you think in what will happen for the second half, or just anything, mind you. You can call me a prat if you want. Make sure it has Oliver in front of it. It's a really shit joke, and I should be put down for that. But yeah, still, this is a very interesting sort of situation, as I guess we should have a look at somewhat of a live ladder. So with the current standings, so they're not live, so I've got to do the quick maths in my head. The win for Warrington would take them up to 4 points. And with the for and against, it would depend on on Toulouse. So they can actually get as high as, so pretty much they'll get as high as third, and it would just depend on if they can keep it on going, because Toulouse currently have a gap of 14 points of their for and against. But the Wigan Warriors still very much top of the table with 3 wins from 3, with honestly a pretty scary for and against already. 114 points scored to 22 points conceded. That is a bit mental. So we'll definitely need to look into next week and see what games we can do. So Wakefield... So a win for Wakefield could see them in the top 4 as well. It would just depend on other results. But St Helens as well, I think, obviously leading and winning currently in their match, which would have the Catalan Dragons drop down below them. But yeah, this is sort of an interesting sort of match. So I guess it's just see how does Wakefield approach this. Because I feel like there has been points in time where it's like, okay, they've got an opportunity, but they kind of immediately squander it. Say it's like, 10 metres out on their last tackle, they get a set restart, but unfortunately it wasn't heard in time, and Joe goes for the grubber. So it really just says there's been, so far this first half, there's been a couple of chances that Wakefield have been handed, and it just doesn't really come to fruition. So it really now comes down to essentially is can they do it in the second half? And we've currently got votes of people who say that they can, as there are 2 votes in for voting that 2+ tries will be scored within the first 10 minutes of this second half with this man advantage. But you don't know. I think Wakefield just need to not be silly. Just play. Just basically don't do stupid shit and give away set restarts and penalties, because then you're just limiting the time you have the ball, which is not what you want. I genuinely think possibly Warrington scoring the first try in this, especially during this man advantage period, is going to be pretty very bad, I guess, for their momentum and their drive. So yeah, you aren't really sure about how this will go, but in terms of possession, 56% possession in favour of Warrington. Completion, pretty similar. Meters, about 150 more by Warrington. Missed tackles, 14 to Warrington, 24 by Wakefield. Wakefield's had more errors, but its penalty conceded, it's been pretty similar. So it's more so they need to work on their errors and make sure they don't do everything. But they've got a real opportunity here to come back into this second half and make this a pretty decent matchup. So you never know what could happen. So now we're only a couple of minutes away now from the start of the second half, as we're still going to try to keep an eye on the other matches currently ongoing. Yep, 23 minutes gone, still 6-0 in favour of St Helens, as it was Clark who got the try, with Jackson Hastings getting the conversion. So yeah, we've still got a bit of time. How's everyone doing? I did see actually that the in terms of like, because the match between Hull Kingston Rovers and Leeds is at midnight for the English. It's so pretty much the Bulldogs Dragons game will be on at like what, that'll be around, wow, that's near like probably like what, 4 a.m. somewhere around that period. So yeah, but at least it's good to see that rugby league's now starting to enter its proper seasons now, so it'll be good to see. Anyone got any other votes? Let me know. But I mean, to be fair, the way it currently is makes complete sense of the voting advantage. But obviously we're just trying to see what happens. So, on top of it, simply, since he's come on, I feel like he could very much have been a factor of Warrington getting the upper footing in this matchup. So it'll be very interesting to see how the other 12 go on. Yeah, we're just now waiting for this, and yeah, I guess we're just going to be interesting to see how this St Helens game also develops with capitalise, because I feel like this could be one of those games where it's also very close. Because obviously the ladder's still very, like, obviously you still got Wigan up top with like a pretty decent advantage. I kind of wish I was able to do like Challenge Cup, but unfortunately I'm pretty certain the only matches they do in Australia, that can be viewed in Australia, is only, barring like one match that gets done by a sportsman per round, is the semis and the final. But to be honest, I don't even think the final they do. I don't even know if they do the semis still. So I guess we'll just have to find out whilst we get closer to the business end of the Challenge Cup period. Kind of wish there was something like that similar in Australia. I know it'd probably be a bit of a logistical nightmare, and how would you actually go about organising that? It'd be very difficult, especially with all the links of the developing clubs to establish NRL teams. Because it's like, because imagine if it was like a situation where it was like, oh, I'm trying to think of an example. It's like, obviously, so say like the Melbourne Storm. Now they've obviously exited out of Queensland to focus on their own like teams in like developmental. But it was like, oh yeah, let's say the Broncos are playing the Sunshine Coast Falcons. But it's like, oh, just casually, oh, let's just drop down some Melbourne Storm first graders into that side. So yeah, it's you just don't really know. But I also think there was very much a big gap between, like, say, I don't know, because I feel like a club like Maitland could get an upset. They're pretty good, but you never know. Anyways, after a bit of waffling, we're back, and we've got a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half, but 2 or 3 minutes away. As we're getting ready now for Rugby League Las Vegas, we're getting close. But it is obviously at a pretty pain in the arse hour for the for England. But yeah, we're just waiting now for the start of. It's now waiting and going. Big decent ad for the Rugby League Vegas. They're still going as we're waiting for anyone wants to get their final votes in as we're about to get ready for the start of the second half. So yeah, Hull Cow and Leeds is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. It'd be very enticing to see what does happen in that. Oh, 4:30 a.m. So I wasn't too far off for Bulldogs Dragons. 2:15 a.m. for the Newcastle Knights and the North Queensland Cowboys. If you're watching that, I know you're a true rugby league head, but you might need to see someone like, and that's coming as someone who supports the Knights. It's pretty dire. Went to one of their trial matches. Almost fell asleep. And I'm not even kidding. So here we go. Warrington now. Both teams now. We're just waiting for both teams to come out onto the field. And so I believe it'll be Warrington who will get first bit of the possession. Because they kicked off in the first half. Strobe lighting prior to kickoff. They've got a halftime show. Stadium show. Whatever you call it. So here we go. Warrington now back out onto the fields. The commentators are now talking about oh yeah, there's strobe lighting effect, so if you are a bit affected by that, just please be careful, as it's been going on for about 10 seconds, mate. If they were affected, they'd already be seizing up on the field, on the carpet. Oh, whoa. That, there goes the AdSense, that one, but no. Here we go. Wakefield set to kick off. They're going to be running screen left with Warrington getting first possession. They've got pretty much 10 minutes of a man advantage. Can Wakefield make them pay? We're going to end the poll here. And with the people who have voted, it says that it's going to be 2+ tries. So we're hoping for what could end up being an exciting matchup of a possibility of could Wakefield go 3 for 3. Wait, no, Wakefield aren't 3 for 3. Sorry, my apologies. But 2 for 2. Two in a row was what I was trying to get at. So here we go. Just waiting for the kickoff. Okay, we're getting close. They're focusing a hell of a lot of time on the coaching staff for Wakefield. There's sound issues. There we go. Referee now enters the field as we're getting ready for the start of this second half. So here we go, waiting for the kickoff. And we are underway for the second half as Wakefield kick to Warrington. So Warrington need to just remain calm, defend hard, as that is Ben Curry gets brought down inside the 20 for the first tackle. Just had to pull the lineups up to make sure that it wasn't being wrong, because it has happened before. As Warrington now going up the guts, Joe Philbin gets past the 30 and brought up inside the 40 for the third tackle. Gotta say, it's been a pretty decent set so far here by Warrington. They're just shy of halfway for the fourth tackle. And it's an early kick. And it's been battered back by Wakefield. He picks it up inside the 10 from the fourth tackle kick. And be wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle. As we're now 1 minute gone in this second half. And as we're about to be... There we go. Now 1 minute gone with the man advantage here for Wakefield. So they're really going to make him pay. Attempted offload there from Oliver Pratt, but no one's there and he catches it. And he gets brought down just past the 30. Almost a dumping tackle there. So Warrington need to be careful to not make it harder than already is. As right on halfway here for Wakefield, as this will be the last tackle. Flinging out, it's a high kick. And it's going to be taken by good fend off here. It's a big running of the line. And Thulis gets brought down just past the 10 for the first tackle. As Warrington fans appealing for a penalty or a set restart. Hasn't been given. It's the number 26 of Josh Smith. He gets brought down on the 20 for the second tackle. As number 34 of Kelebu Tanganoa. Now just shy of the 30 for the third tackle now for the Wolves. They're just doing one-ups play. I think they're just trying to get through this 10-minute man advantage as quickly as possible. As Taylor Ray gets brought down just shy of halfway for the last tackle. Sneed goes with a driving kick. And it'll be kicked right into touch, which will chew up a bit of a clock. And that's what Warrington need to do for these 10 minutes. And just try to see if they can possibly capitalise on a Wakefield mistake. But it's a brilliant kick from Sneed right over Pratt's head. Bounces and goes out right around the 10. So Max Jowett here for Wakefield, not in the best of ways. He's clutching at his left ankle. He's still standing, but he's in a bit of pain as Wakefield now try to see if they can keep this set going. His second tackle right on the 30-metre line. No, he's hobbling quite badly. I think they might need to take him off here, but no physio has seen it. As there is the number 12 with Matty Staunton. And there we go. A big chance here for Wakefield. It's a penalty. And they get the ball. They'll be able to kick from their 40. So good chance to get deep into Warrington's half and to get possibly the first try of the second half. And the kick will be just inside of Warrington's half. So Wakefield with a full set of 6 here with the man advantage. So Jowett is okay. It's just possibly a little niggle. Now it's the number 16 here. Afartilli. 20 out now. Second tackle. Wakefield need a try here. They're going to flick it out all the way out to the right-hand side, and that's what they're going to get. And it's Matt Jowett who grounds it. And after all of the hobbling and injury, and he might have done himself in now, but it has resulted in a try for Wakefield as it's 14-6 with a kick to come, but might just have to have a little check to see if if he's all right, and 2, does he stay in play for the grounding? And if that is the case, Wakefield have gotten 1 try. Or they might need to check his ankles here to see if he actually stayed in play. Let's have a look here. Does he ground it before his legs hit the ground? Taylor Ray with a charge. Oh, it's a brilliant grounding. And yep, despite Taylor Ray's best efforts trying to charge in to possibly force a knock on, it is going to be given a try. But they are looking at this. Oh, okay. The foot does hit the field before, so I guess they're just trying to have a look to see if it hits the sideline. They are definitely having a look. Okay, foot hits the ground there. Nah, he grounds it before. There was a possible check that he may lose the ball, but no, they're going to award the try surely. And there we go, try confirmed. So with 5.5 minutes gone in this second half, and with their man advantage, they finally get on the board here, Wakefield. So a kick from the sideline here, as the pressure is on Jack Sinfield to make it a 6-point game. And he's definitely not going to get help from the Halliwell Jones crowd, calling him every name under the sun, trying to get into his head. As your bottle, Sinfield. Does he get the conversion? He marches forward. Nope. Doesn't get it to curl enough, and it probably wouldn't have even made the distance anyways. So there we go. 4 minutes remaining with their man advantage, and 6 minutes gone in this half. It's 14-6. With Wakefield getting the try needed, but now it's more than a try deficit still. Joe, it's still in a little bit of pain here, but he's still keeping on going. But Warrington taking their sweet time, but it's chewed up a couple of seconds as the referee then has to pause the time, as we've only got 3 minutes 41 remaining the man advantage. But here we go, the kick has happened, and now full set here for Wakefield. And Wakefield get brought down inside of the 20 for the first tackle. Now quick play as Wakefield now just trying to do some quick set plays here to see if they can possibly get a penalty for Warrington being offside. Wakefield now going down the left hand side here, fourth tackle. They're going one-upman's up the left, and they've gone 45 away from the try line here. Last tackle. It was also a very quick set. Here's the last tackle kick from Sinfield. Straight to Taylor Ray, who catches it on the 10. He does take a slip, but he'll get wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle for Warrington. So Warrington here just trying to make sure that nothing happens here as Toby King gets brought down just shy of the 30 for the third tackle. Warrington fans are feeling for a penalty for offsides, but they're just not being called, as Warrington keep getting held at the 30 for the fourth tackle. And quick run down the line, Danny Walker gets a good bit of meters there, just shy of halfway now for the last tackle. And Sneed with a grubber kick to put pressure, and it's going to get left to be grubbered, and will the ball go out in the play? And it will. So it'll be a 7-tackle set and a 20-minute restart now for Wakefield, but this will possibly be, unless there's a set restart or a penalty, the last time they have the ball with a man advantage, as, they've got to get away the side of the field. So they've got to make this count to try to make it a 2-point margin with a try and a conversion. But running up the guts here from Wakefield, they're on halfway for the second tackle. 1 minute 30 remaining with this man advantage. As Fartilli gets brought down past halfway in Warrington's 40. Big run here. Staunton now 30 away from the try line. Fourth tackle. Can Wakefield get another try here? Time off. They're pushing him back to where the line was, which was more properly on the 30. Now flinging it out to the middle here. Wakefield trying to find something. Sinfield find a gap, but he gets wrapped up 15 away from the try line. Last tackle. Wakefield go for the grubber, and it's going to get kicked out by Williams, and it's going to be a goal line dropout. But here we go. Warrington They're going to try to chew up as much clock as possible, which is probably about 20 seconds. So Wakefield will only have 30 seconds of their kick. So, and to be honest, if I was Warrington, I'd just lever it. As Toffa for Sipley now waiting to come back onto the field. No, Sipley's now back on the... Wait, what? Wasn't there like 30 seconds? Sipley's back on the field and it's now... I'm confused here. Because there's still like 30 seconds left. And Sipley's come on. But now it's no longer a man advantage. That's weird. But anyways, it was a long kick there by Warrington. And it's a penalty to Wakefield on their 30. As Toffa for Sipley rakes the ball out. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. A little bit of a weird one to say, the very least. But here we go. Wakefield now, 4 set of 6, 15 away now from the first. A huge chance for Wakefield to get the second try of the second half. It also means they only got one try with the man advantage. 5 out now. Second tackle here for Wakefield as we're now 10 minutes gone in this second half. Quick off their line here, Warrington, to stop any passes out to the wing. Wakefield now, third tackle. Spreading it out to the right-hand side. A ball go up the middle. Vergara. Wakefield still trying to find a gap. Fourth tackle. They're trying to find a pass out to the wing. And it's going to go there. And it's the number 21 of Jaden Myers. And it's now 14-10 with a kick to come. Rightio. Momentum now with Wakefield. And now a conversion. Hang on. Warrington are talking. Could it be a challenge? Trying to see what they're appealing for. I don't know what they were trying to appeal for. It was a possible obstruction. I'm not too sure where it is. But anyway, it's 14-10 to Warrington. But Wakefield now back in this game. But yeah, it's a great floating pass out from Truman out to Myers into the left-hand try. But yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with the try. I don't know what Williams was appealing for. So they got the kick count down. So I'm pretty certain they should be try confirmed. And it is. So Joe, and he's still kicking. Bearing in mind, he has been having ankle problems this game. So now Jowett's going to try to take the conversion whilst hurt. And it's again another one from the sideline, this time on the other side of the field. This to make it a 2-point margin and 14-12. Here's the conversion attempt. It's got the distance, but it doesn't have the accuracy. So it'll remain 14-10. But there we go. 13 minutes gone in this second half. Wakefield very much back in this matchup. Just going to have a quick check of the score. Yep, it's halftime between Catalan and St Helens, and it is 6-0 to the Saints. With a sole try by Clark at the 11th minute, with Hastings converting. So first tackle here for Wakefield. It's inside their 20. And they're trying to get more one-upmans. And oh, big rush there by the number 16 of Liam Byrne, who... It's a big tackle. They need, to be fair, it's something that Warrington need. Just a bit of ticker or something to get them charging right into it. Fourth tackle, Wakefield still at the 40. That's number 17 there of Harvey Smith. Gets just shy of halfway for the last tackle. And Sinfield with the kick. And it's going to be touched by Taylor Ray with the foot, and he gets picked it up. But it'll get wrapped up in the 30 for the first tackle for Warrington. But yeah, Warrington, they need something to break this Wakefield momentum. But run here from dummy half again, Danny Walker. He's been very impressive so far this matchup. Probably part of the match so far here for the Wolves. Now fourth tackle. They're inside Wakefield's half now. 40 out from the try line. Warrington now. They've got numbers on the right-hand side if they choose to use it. It's a 3-on-1. Now to Hopawade. Now to Thulis with a crossfield kick into the middle. The bounce, it's batted back, and it will be taken out by Jowett. And it will be a goal line dropout for Wakefield. But Jowett, how are you still on the field? He's absolutely knackered. He's still got 26 minutes remaining in this game. But it was almost a kick out on the full, actually. So it looks like Jowett is going to drill it. It's not going to go short. So here we go. Just waiting for the Wakefield dropout. And he kicks it. And he'll get to the 40. And here comes a big charge. Ooh, Liam Byrne. Scary bastard he is. 25 out now, first tackle. And Toffa for Sipley now. Gets a good run into the line now. 10 metres out. Second tackle for the Wolves. To Tanganoa. Trying to dive at the line again now. 5 metres out. Right in front of the post. Third tackle. Warrington now go to the right-hand side. Trying to find something. Oh, big hit by Hamlin Awele. 5 out. Still fourth tackle. As that is Curry who will get held up short of the line now. Last tackle here for Warrington. Takes a little bit. They fling it out to the left. Crossfield kick to the winger. It's taken and it's scored by Josh Smith. And I guess unless there's any bobble, it's going to be 18 points to 10 with a kick to come. And that is a massive try in the context of this match, as it looks like Warrington have snapped Wakefield's momentum. And again, it's this run from dummy half from Danny Walker, which has kind of started leading to this. Now it's an 8-point gap. Yeah, it was a perfect kick there by Sneed right into the hands of Josh Smith, who gets the catch and it's grounded. Well, they might have to have a look at that. I don't know. He probably has downward pressure on it anyways, but he does bobble it just slightly. So, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the tries. That's Josh Smith going over. As we're now 16.5 minutes gone in this second half. And it's now an 8-point margin with a kick to come, of course. I'm not 100% sure if the try was confirmed, but nothing's really happening that would say that the try would be reviewed. I think we heard over the thing, try confirmed, so it should be all good. Yep. And now we have another conversion attempt from the sideline, this time being from Warrington, as the two from Wakefield after the tries have both resulted in misses. But Mark Sneed now 3 for 3 so far this match, looking to go 4 from 4. So let's see, can he make this a 10-point lead for the Wolves? So here we go. Warrington now, just trying to find some form. Here's the conversion attempt. Takes his time, and he does a curl back. Oh my lord. That left foot kick drilled, and he just about sneaks it in. That's a brilliant kick, and it's 20 points to 10. As we've got 23.5 minutes remaining. Or 22.5 minutes remaining, I should say, in this matchup. But yeah, big try there for Warrington to possibly get the momentum going, as just waiting here for Wakefield. Just waiting here for Wakefield to get the kick and to get back underway. And there's been issues with the sound system of the referees to talk to his team, as they got they had battery issues at the beginning of the second half, and now they're trying to get it sorted up again. So they're just waiting to see if we can get the mics working. So I've got plenty. I've got the time, all the time in the world. In all seriousness, so got nothing to worry about, lads. So now, there we go, kick off, and we're back underway for the second half. So it's the run here, and Warrington will get brought down inside the 20 for the first tackle. And it's still just one-upmans up the middle here. Toffa for Sipley now inside the 30 for the second tackle. This is a situation where Warrington just need to... They kind of got their foot on Wakefield's neck at the moment. They just need to not let up. And just keep it on going. And Tanganoa now brought down on halfway for the fourth tackle. And Taylor Ray, bit of a hospital pass given to him, and he gets wrapped up 40 away from the try line. Last tackle for the Wolves. They kick it off to the right-hand side. And it's taken by Pratt, who will get wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle for Wakefield. So now Wakefield now trying to get it through. But yeah, the commentators are praising how Warrington are coming in, because there's been points where they haven't had much of the ball, but when they do have it, it's just direct, straight at the line. In Football Manager talk, it'd be Route 1, as Wakefield now getting up to halfway here, as McMeekin gets brought down on halfway for the last tackle. So, last tackle there, and it's the kick, and the kick gets a bit more central. It's a lot of bounces let there by Taylor Ray. He gets on the 10, but he'll be wrapped up inside the 20 for the first tackle, as we're soon to enter the final 20 minutes of this matchup. And now Thulis gets brought down inside the 30 for the second tackle. As Warrington now just trying to get something going. Upawade now with the ball from an offload from King. And Upawade gets brought down on Warrington's 40 for the third tackle. And it's a penalty to Warrington. That is not what Wakefield needed. So here we go. We've got a very decent chance of Warrington again being in an attacking setting and trying to get down the line. The kick goes 45 metres away from Wakefield's try line. So a very decent chance here for Wakefield to continue their momentum charge, as Tanganoa gets brought down 35 away from the try line for the first tackle. Wakefield now spreading it out to the right. They've got numbers if they want to. Taylor Ray backs himself, but he gets wrapped up 15 away from the try line on the far right-hand side. But again, huge chance here for the Wolves to just keep this momentum going. Burn gets brought down inside of the 10 here for the third. Flat ball there to Curry. And Curry will get held up 5 short of the line here, right in front of the post for the fourth. They'll spread it out to the left. Sneed. Williams. Williams trying to go himself, but he'll get wrapped up on the far left-hand side. 5 out. Last tackle. And King tries to go himself from dummy half. And he'll get held up, and it'll be a changeover. And Wakefield ball. Inside the 10, but here we go. Big defensive set here you've got to expect from Warrington. But Wakefield will be looking to try to draw some kind of penalty. Yeah, so here we go. Sip runs it straight at Sipley, and Wakefield gets brought down inside the 10 for the first tackle. And Cameron Scott now gets just past the 10 for the second tackle. As Jowett still having issues with his ankle. Corey Hall now on the 15 for the third. They've gone out of the 10, and they're getting a good couple of meters, but Still not in any proper threat yet. But there is a Fartilli now brought down just shy of the 40 for the last tackle. So not the worst set there to get out of very bad territory. And there's the last tackle kick. And it's going to be taken by Smith, sorry. And Smith will get wrapped up on the 30-metre line for the first tackle for Warrington. As we've now got 18 minutes remaining in this matchup. And 18 minutes away from Warrington entering the top 4. With going 2 for 2 for the season, obviously having last week off. Habawate gets brought down just shy of halfway here for the third tackle. It's another quick setting coming. Williams hits the line with a blaze of glory. Appeals for a high shot. And he's grabbing it. He's trying to sell it a little bit. Bit of wrestling going on. I mean, he did come a high shot, but they're not calling it. Oh, it's a hand right around here. I don't think it's a bit of a high shot, but it's just his hand's right there. But Williams, not much in it, but it is like hand to face. But Williams now held up, still just swaying with time stopped, 62:44. As I'm just going to have a quick look to see if the second half has started between Catalan and St Helens. But the milking is working. It is a penalty to Warrington. I mean, you got to do anything to try to get the referee's attention, to be honest. And it's like, I think there's a difference between diving and it's like, this happened, I'm going to make sure that the referee understands it and emphasize that it did happen. I think there's a bit of a difference. It's a very fine line of a difference, but it still is. So, yep, George wins the penalty. Jastovaga now back on the field for Wakefield. In an interchange here. So, what? Warrington. An interesting decision here. They're going to go for the 2 again. This to make it a 12-point gap. 22-10, but again, it's like you kind of been on the throat a little bit for the last couple of minutes. But here we go. 16 minutes remaining here. Chance for Warrington with this penalty kick. Need to go 5 for 5 and make it 22 points 10. Here we go. And Soundpiece, yeah, it's like a 40-meter kick. It's still not, it's also not exactly center, so it's a bit kind of mental, but if he can kick it, he can kick it. And he certainly can. Accuracy was pretty good. I just didn't know if it had the legs, and it did, so it's going to be 22 points to 10. So 15 and a half remaining. It is Warrington 22, Wakefield 10. I feel like I've said that so much in the last couple of minutes. I do apologise. They're taking this sweet-ass time to start back up the Catalan St Helens game. But Wakefield need a mistake here from the Wolves to get back into this. But I feel like, honestly, with the way the momentum is going, it's a short kickoff here as well by Wakefield. But it's taken by... Oh, there we go. It was taken by Warrington short, but Wakefield players have got him out. But there's a lot of questions being asked of the referee by the Warrington players. Could there be a captain's challenge here? So here we go. Taken by... I was dragging him when the tackle was already completed. But it was a little push, if anything. But unfortunately, it's a flopping penalty. So unfortunately, Warrington get the ball. Oh, and the ball's popped out first tackle anyways. That looked forward a little bit. But here we go. Wakefield now have a full set inside of Warrington's half here. 45 out from the try line for the first tackle. As was Cameron Scott. And there's the run there. The number 18 of Vangana. Tavaga. They're spreading it out to the left-hand side. They've got numbers if they can properly attack it. Corey Hall trying to find something at around the 20. But he'll get brought down 25 away from the try line here for the second tackle. Tavaga gets it up to Caleb Hamilton-Wenley. 10 out now. Third tackle. Wakefield trying to find something. They fling it out to a bit of a hospital pass there to Cameron Scott. But it'll be meters lost there. 15 out now. Fourth tackle on the right-hand side. They'll look to go more central. Tavaga. Tavaga going right through the middle, but he gets brought down 10 metres out. Last tackle here for Wakefield. They're on to the left-hand side here. There's a grubber. It's a great grubber. Oh, and it's Thulis who bobbles it backwards. They might have to have a review to see who that touches last. It's definitely not a try. But who does touch it last? Is it a 20-metre restart to Warrington, or is it a goal line dropout? So the kickers was a decent. Thulis tried to ground it, but he just couldn't. That's touched by not Warrington, Wakefield first, in my opinion. Thulis misses it, but the Wakefield player tries to touch it. Of Jaden Myers, so this should be a 20-metre restart for a knock-on by Wakefield. So yeah, it's going to be knock-on. So 13.5 minutes remaining, a 7-tackle set, and a 20-metre restart now incoming for the Warrington Wolves. So, here we go. We're just waiting for the confirmation. It was definitely no try. There we go. No try. But knock on 20-metre restart. So, there we go. A little bit of a chance there goes begging. But it was still a pretty decent effort. Not going to lie. So, it definitely could have been a lot worse. So Warrington here, 30 with 13.5 remaining. There's a huge chance here for it to be another try for Warrington. Could possibly put the game just out of reach. So here we go. Warrington now coming into the line. They're just shy of the halfway for the third tackle. Spread it now into the middle. Tanganoa gets brought down on Wakefield's 40 for the fourth tackle. And Warrington trying to get through the line, but they don't. Last tackle, 35 out. They'll go to the right-hand side. Sneed goes for a run, then it's a high kick. There's a lot of chases here for Warrington. That's batted backwards. But I thought there was a knock-on. Up still, play on. So Wakefield will get the ball inside the 20 for the first tackle. And the second tackle will now be on the 30. But it's another sort of trying to get a quick set going on here. As Wakefield trying to possibly force a penalty. Pass it takes a bouncer going out to the right-hand side. Is Vangan up. Gets brought down past the 40 for the fourth tackle. Tavaga gets past halfway now and is brought down 45 away from the try line for the last tackle. Sinfield with a high boot. Putting some pressure. Oh, and he's taking the bounce, but the bounce just ends up going out. There's a lot of pressure there on Thulis. Thulis almost lost his footing there, but the ball does go out at the 20, so it will be Warrington ball. As Toffa Sipley now off the field and possibly for his last contributions for the game. Not a decent showing, getting the first try of the match. So 11.5 remaining now in this game. Warrington with a full set of 6, but they're back on their 15. And the first tackle will now also happen on the 15, further to the left-hand side of the field. So you guys got to feel Wakefield can't be giving away silly mistakes. Another run from dummy half here by Walker, which has got some decent meters, just shy of the 40 here for the third tackle. Another run from dummy half here. The Wakefield's backs are facing towards Warrington. It's just cost them decent meters here. They got the right on the right-hand side here. They pass it out. Oh, to Thulis, and Thulis has lost it. And here we go. Wakefield now running down the left-hand side, but it's a one-on-one. Sneed trying to make the tackle, and he does. And Wakefield get brought down 35 away from the try line for the 0 tackle. Now, this is a decent chance here for Wakefield to possibly get points. They go for the kick to the right. It's a kick and chase. The bounce is going to work for him, and it's going to result in a try for Wakefield. And it is Oliver Pratt into the right-hand corner. It's 22 points to 14 with a kick to come. And we've got a possible grandstand finish as Oliver Pratt gets his first try of the season. But there we go. Huge chance taken by Wakefield. But now they've just got to try to get this conversion successful to make it only a one converted try difference. But yes, Sinfield just takes the kick and sees Oliver Pratt with the miles of space on the right-hand side of the field. And the bounces work perfectly. And he is just able to just catch it and ground it. So try confirmed. 9.5 now remaining. Just waiting for this conversion attempt. And hasn't been the best of conversions here for Wakefield. But they need to get this one if they want to make it a 6-point gap. So it's Joe it again. Joe, it's 1 for 2. I think it's 1 for 3 actually. It's again another kick from the sideline, 30 meters out. This is probably one of the biggest kicks you could do for a conversion attempt. And you've got all the kids at the Halliwell Stadium banging on the set. The kick, it's straight. Has it got the distance? He's got it. 22 points to 16. With about 8 minutes remaining, he's still hobbling. Man, 8.5 minutes now gone. Remaining in this matchup. And if Wakefield can get another try, I'm assuming there's no golden point, is there? Yeah, it would just be trying to get the NRL mind out of it, so. Here we go. Just need another try here for Wakefield, and this game is starting to look pretty darn decent. Just waiting to see if the second half has started in the other match, which was Catalan and St Helens. And there's the kick off it, and Wakefield have got the ball. And Fertilli gets brought down inside the 20 for the first tackle. So here we go. 30 on the 30 now for the second tackle. Wakefield, this is where it's a game of inches. Any type of foul or penalty could be dire in this matchup. There's Vagana just shy of the 40 for the fourth tackle. Now Wakefield, they're spreading it out all the way to their left-hand side. Almost a breakthrough there, but just shy of halfway here for the last tackle. 7.5 remaining. And here's the last tackle bomb by Wakefield. Taken by Taylor Ray inside the 20. And he gets immediately wrapped up for a 30. It's appealing for a high shot. But the referee's not calling it. And now second tackle here for Warrington. They're still at the 30. Now, number 26 for Josh Smith. Just shy of the 40 for the third tackle. Another run from dummy half. There's a lot of appeals for offside penalties. But it's a set restart. Another set here for Warrington. 50 away from the try line. The ball's popped out. And it's not been called a penalty. It's a knock-on. As Sinfield... As the ball's popped away here by Warrington. And it's going to be an immediate challenge by Warrington. Is it a loose carry? I guess we'll have to find out. But this could be a big moment. Whether it's a penalty... Right on halfway, it's either going to be a scrum or it's going to be a penalty. So, is there ruck interference? This Toby King. Arms on the ball and it does pop out, but I don't know if it's a loose carry or not. So trying to see if Sinfield is just pulling his arm out or the ball was purposely raked. I think he's just pulling his arm out, to be honest. But I feel like there's gonna be it's gonna be instant conclusive, I think. But anyways, in the other game, there has been a try. It's not a pull on the ball, yep. But yeah, so 10 minutes into the second half, it's 10-0 to St Helens with another try. So in the video referee's view, Sinfield is just pulling his hand out of the ruck, and it's not an attempt to strip. And they're playing at a full speed and not just playing frame by frame, which they need to do in Australia, I'll tell you. So the challenge will be unsuccessful. It is going to be a scrum feed on halfway for Wakefield, and Halliwell Jones crowd not happy. But I understand video referee, he explained it clearly. So halfway, 6.5 minutes remaining. It's a it's a penalty. What? What? Yeah, the referee. Yeah, I was about to say the referee kind of lost control there because Wakefield kicked for a penalty, and it's like, wait, well, and all the Warrington players are like, wait, what's going on? And he's like, oh shit, no, wait, it's a scrum. It's scrum on halfway. George Williams was running in there like a chariot on fire. And the referee's just like, oh, whoops. So, scrum feed on halfway for Wakefield. So, first tackle here, 45 away from the try line. A massive set now here for Wakefield. As for Attili, now 40 away from the try line, second tackle. They're just doing one-up play at the moment to Varga. Now spreading it out to Vingana. And he now gets another offload off. Still going here. As Harvey Smith gets brought down 20 away from the try line. Third tackle here for Wakefield. They're spreading it now into the middle as Tavaga gets brought down 15 away from the try line. Fourth tackle. Got 6 minutes remaining now in this matchup. Spreading it out to the right. They're trying to find some gap to open up as Cameron Scott gets brought down 5 away from the try line. Last tackle here for Wakefield. Down into the middle, Sinfield. They're flinging it out to the left-hand side. Is the pass going to work? They get the pass out to the wing. He's running. He's running. What a tackle by Kai Taylor-Gray. As Jaden Myers goes in for the corner, Taylor-Ray comes in and charges him out. He goes into touch, and it'll be a Warrington ball inside the 10. But what a defensive effort by Taylor-Ray. I don't know if Myers would have made it anyways from the wrap up, but still, it's definite. Make sure that's not going to happen. But what desperation defense there by the Wolves. It's going to be possession here for Warrington now on their 10 with a full set of 6 as we've now got 5 minutes remaining in this matchup. And it's just going to be one up to play. Wakefield cannot afford another mistake. Now right inside the 30 here for the third tackle. Warrington now just trying to get more forward here as Danny Walker will get wrapped up at the 30 for the third tackle. That's going to be a penalty. Caius Fatili. It was a ruck infringement trying to get out of the way. But, it's a captain's challenge already, but he needs to be more aware trying to get back to the line. I don't think this challenge is going to be successful, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. As we've got 4.5 minutes remaining in this matchup. You know what I'd do if I was Warrington here? I know he's trying to get back to the line, but he's like... Tackle's complete. Walker's getting his feet to play the ball. And Caius is coming in. Yeah, so it's going to be an unsuccessful challenge. So shortcutting to marker. Oh, so challenge unsuccessful, so it will be a penalty to Warrington. Honestly, I get into somewhat a field position, just kick the field goal. Because then at that point, it's a 7-point gap. And so, choose up clock. So, that's what I think Warrington should do. I reckon, if they just get into decent field position with a decent penalty kick. And just try to get a field goal to make it out of reach, even if Wakefield score. And now referees run to the other touchline. Now a touch judge is having problems to get his batteries changed. So this is, remember guys, always carry, no matter what, this is something I learned from shoots in terms of operating equipment. Always have batteries, brand new batteries with you. Because you just never know. So they're just trying to fix up the mics on the touch judge. We've got 4.5 remaining still, so we're just waiting for the penalty kick here by Warrington. But yeah, I generally just think Warrington just try to get into a decent field position, kick the field goal, you're up by 7. You chew up about 20-30 seconds on the clock. So Warrington now just waiting to take the kick from their 30. Now there's still stoppages. We're still waiting for the play to happen. Communications might be down between the referees. So they're trying to get all the touch judges' batteries to work for the headsets and that. And there we go. We should be ready to go. There's the penalty kick. How far can this go into touch? It'll be just inside of halfway here. So, a full set of 6. 45 away from the try line. We've now just over 4 minutes remaining. A chance for Warrington to ice the game and go 2 for 2 to start their Super League campaign. There you go. Here's the second tackle now. 35 away from the line. Now they're brought down on the 30 now for the third tackle. Less than 4 remaining, as that was Harrison who got tackled. And now they're just going down the middle here. I think they might actually be going for the field goal. They're keeping it very central, running up the guts. Here we go, last tackle, 10 metres out. They're flinging it back. Here's for the field goal. And it is between the sticks. It is now 23 points to 17 with 3.5 remaining. And that could be enough to ice the game. Man, I need to be... Sam Burgess, mate. We've got the wavelength. Mate, hire me. But there we go. Just perfect kick. That's the perfect strategy. 3.5 now remaining in this game. And Warrington, it's a short kick anyways. Batter backwards and Warrington will get the ball anyways. Inside the 40 for the first tackle. And this... Just keep running the sets, and that should be enough. And now it's Jaden Myers is falling awkwardly as he's trying to get back to the line. Probably his hamstring, maybe. But we keep it going. Warrington now. Trying to get past the 40 here. They just need to keep running the sets normally. Because you've got to think, even with a try, they'll still be ahead by 1. The third tackle, 45 away from the try line now. It's just honestly, just go for another kick. Fourth tackle, 40 away from the try line now. It's Hopewade. Gets tackled. Flat ball out to Yates. Yates has broken the line. Yates keeps going. And Yates gets brought down 10 metres away from the try line now. Last tackle. Can they get another try, actually? Sneed with a crossfield kick. What a take! It's batted backwards, and that will do it. Toby King. Josh Smith does a brilliant catch right on the sideline and instinctively flings it back to Toby King, who grounds it, and that will do it. 2.5 remaining. It's 27-16 with a kick to come, and that is the dagger blow, and Warrington will go 2 for 2 to start the season. Toby King getting his second try of the season. But yeah, there you go. Mark Sneed, I will say, his pinpoint kicks have been pretty pinpoint. That's silly for what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. But that should well and truly do it. So we're just waiting for the time because the time will go for the kicks. It'll probably be about 90 seconds remaining anyways. So try confirmed. So it's an 11-point gap. And this conversion from the sidelines will make it a 13-point gap to make it 29-16. Might have to check if this could be a possible scoregami situation. I feel like it's probably 29-16 probably has already happened though. So they're just chewing up as much clock as possible. So leave Wakefield with about 90 seconds to play around with, but Warrington will just get the ball anyway. So Sneed, to get it from the sideline. This to make it a 13-point lead. Here we go. The run-up has started. The kick is not accurate enough. So it's going to remain 27-16. So 5 for 6 for the match. So we've got about 1:20 remaining in this game. So Warrington will just keep it simple. And just keep it on going. So just waiting, it's going to be, there's the kickoff there by Wakefield as we now into the final 1:20. And it'll just be a regular set expected here by Warrington. But yeah, it's been a really good match to say the least. Very boring first half, but it just quickly started picking up. And Wakefield were in for a decent period of it, but unfortunately Warrington were just able to make more of their chances count as we're now entering the final minute of this match. And it's almost a line break here for Williams as he gets brought down on halfway for the fourth tackle as we've got 40 seconds remaining. Tanganoa now running up the guts, now 45 away from the line. This will be the last tackle. And it's a chip and chase here. And it's been picked up. It's offloaded off. This is going to result in a possible try. No, it gets batted back for a goal line dropout. But that will do it. We won't see a goal line dropout here, unfortunately. So that should... the time will just run out. And it will be the Warrington Wolves. Nope, they've stopped the clock, so we will see the goal line dropout with about 6 seconds remaining. Now the question is... does he just, whoever catches it just runs backwards and not even bother? So here we go. Wakefield will get the goal line dropout. And they've kicked it. And the siren will sound. And James Harrison will get some extra meters to his stat sheet. He gets brought down on the 40. Full time. And Warrington win 27-16 over Wakefield Trinity. And it's now 2 for 2 to start the season. there we go. Fairly decent match to say the very least. But now just waiting to see what this current score is at the moment. There's 15 minutes remaining in the match between the Catalan Dragons and St Helens. And I'll show the camera. It is now 22-0 to St Helens. So pretty safe to say that currently St Helens now are about pretty much 1 foot into getting their win in France. So yeah, pretty decent match. What to say as well? I mean, Warrington 2 for 2 for decent matches. Wakefield weren't too bad. I'm interested to see how they do develop throughout the rest of the season. As it's hi-ho Warrington. It was just hi-ho Silver Linings playing. But there we go. That's the end of the stream. Thank you all very much for joining me. If any of you lot are going to be up very early bits of the morning, we'll be doing the Canterbury Bulldogs and St George Illawarra Dragons match in Vegas. But the next Super League game that we will do is not too far away. It will actually be the final match of the round, which is... I just want to actually make sure that I say it correctly, so I'm pulling up the Our League thing. Is the Bradford Bulls taking on Toulouse Olympic. So yeah, thank you all very much for joining me, and I will see you all later.